Hey guys, it's Alexis, and I play Fiona in Extravaganza and Gumball in Sleepover.
And I'm Danny, and I play Marshall Lee the Vampire King in everything, all of our videos, all of them. And it's midnight 05, and we decided that we were gonna work on cosplay, because that's usually how we do things. I made Gumball's outfit really poorly last time, and I decided, since I couldn't really find any videos, of the process, that we would make a work vlog on it so that you could see how we're gonna do things.
Let's get this vlog on the road.
Vlog on the road show. That's the same.
Let's get working.
Let's go.
Okay, so I always get way too much fabric. I have 3 yards here, but only should have gotten 2 because I just end up cutting it all off and not using it. But the first thing I'm doing is, keeping in mind I bought broadcloth and it's not a stretchy material, I take a loose tank top to use as a pattern and trace around it, allowing for seam allowance, extending it at the bottom so it's a long tunic. Then I just pin it in place and cut it out. Okay, super trust exercise time. I pinned it on my sister so I could get the neck hole cut out right. I also trimmed up the bottom so it fell where we wanted it to on her for Gumball, since she was the one who was going to be wearing the outfit. Thread that bobbin like a champion. Right here I am just sewing across both shoulder hems. Don't forget to take out your pins and backstitch. I'm sewing down both sides of the garment, stopping before I reach the bottom for those fancy side slits, which I had marked previously where I wanted to stop with a white fabric pencil. Also, shout out to everybody else who doesn't ever put their pins in the right way.
It's 2:24, so we're stopping for tonight. What we got done so far, and it's hemmed on the sides. The bottom just needs to be hemmed. Right, see you later. Bye. Day 2 of working on Gumball. I guess we'll just get to it.
Alright, so Alexis is just going to finish up those side slits and that bottom hem so it looks all nice and neat. Now Alexis is finishing the neck hole by encasing the raw edges in bias tape and then just stitching over that. And then just do the same thing for the armholes as well. Also, very important step that you should not, must not skip. Iron it. It is so simple, but it makes all the difference. Iron the seams, iron the hems, iron everything. It will look so much better. You'll thank yourself.
I'm just going to sew this little bit inside this, so that putting on the collar will be easier. Who's your puppy? Who's your puppy? Who's your puppy? Yes.
For some reason, you're on this one. You're on 10. And
Okay, so this is a ½ yard of fabric. It should be folded once and then twice. So when you cut through it, it should be through 4 layers. The measurement downwards is 15.5 inches. I used a tutorial that helped me make these puffy sleeves that might explain it better, and that will be linked down in the description. Also, make sure that you never cut through that left side because you're going to need to open these sleeves. And then using a sleeve from a t-shirt as a guide, I cut around it and then straight across. Here I am making 6 16 by 4 inch rectangles. And these are going to be the stripes on the sleeves. Now just pin and hem those 6 rectangles.
The sleeves that I cut out earlier, I'm just taking those and taking the stripes that I made and pinning them in place and literally just sewing them on to the sleeve.
At the top of the sleeve, I pinch together either side of the stripe and sew a 1/2 inch down, then sew at the top of that to make it flat. So it looks like that.
Okay, so when you're finished, it should look like this. Make sure that when you did that though, it was on the slopey side and not the flat side. The flat side is the bottom.
Now I'm hemming the bottom of the sleeve, but at the beginning and at the end of the hem, make sure that you leave an opening so that you can put in the elastic. Using a safety pin, I pull the elastic through that hem that I made and then sew the elastic together. Then I just finish that hem so that hole is finally closed, and then your sleeves are finally done. Now I'm just pinning the sleeve to the actual garment, then sew into place. For the collar, the dimensions are going to be 3.5 inches by 24 inches. Then I'm just going to sandwich in some interfacing to make it stiff and be able to stand up by itself. Now I'm just attaching the collar to the tunic. Now I am just cutting down the middle of the tunic to make a place for the zipper, and this is like so scary, like so nerve-wracking, because it's your finished product. Now pin and sew that zipper into place. I used an invisible zipper so it wouldn't be so noticeable since it is going in the front of my garment and he doesn't have any visible zippers, but I will link the tutorial that I used to help me out with that invisible zipper. And there you have it, Gumball's tunic. I hope this helped. See you next time.
Beginnings of Ice Queen that I'm just wearing because she was doing the sewing. It's actually gonna be her wearing it, but yeah. You mounted Marshall in it though.